Welcome to Envato Tuts Plus Premium. This course is titled Creating Vector Art, and this lesson is Think in Shapes. Now, the process that I'm going over throughout this entire course utilizes drawing. The better you're able to draw out your ideas, draw out your shapes, the better and more precise your vector building is going to be, because you're removing the guesswork and you're giving yourself a roadmap to build your vector art on top of. That's the importance of drawing. That's the importance of working out your ideas and refining them in analog before you go to digital. Once you're in a digital environment such as Adobe Illustrator and you move to start creating your vector shapes, there's certain elements you might draw out that appear as lines. And instead of thinking of those in strokes, it's better to think in shapes. The more you can get yourself in the habit of thinking in shapes as you build vector content, the easier it's going to get. And this video is all about thinking in shapes and how that's going to assist you in terms of building your vector artwork. When creating your artwork, it's best to view anything that's like a line, such as this sag under the eye, not to think of it as a line, but actually think of it as a shape. And that's because when you're building vector artwork, I've found, at least in my opinion and with my experience, is that it's a lot easier to work with shapes rather than working with strokes, especially in Adobe Illustrator. This, of course, depends on whatever style you're working in, of course, but in general, I found it's better to think of your artwork in terms of a shape rather than stroke, and it's just going to help you to pull off what you need to do easier. Now, this is going to become highly apparent when we move to the color stage. But for right now, we're building out this detail, this sag of the eye, in terms of thinking of it as a shape rather than a stroke. So I'm also using what I call shape building, which is I create a shape, but I'll use other shapes to edit it, such as the nose. I'll make a clone of that. Make a clone of it. It's on top. Select this. Use Pathfinder, cookie cut it to punch it out. I'll select the head shape, make a clone of that, select the sag, and once again inset it to get there. So that is the shape. This is what I'll leave. You won't end up seeing this edge up here going through the eye, because when the layering is done on the final piece, it'll fall behind the eye, so you won't have to worry about it. But this shape is going to allow us to be able to shade it, apply transitions such as gradients in order to pull off the effect we want. And that's what I mean by thinking in shape instead of stroke. We're going to go ahead and create this one and do that. And these are the type of build methods that you won't even need to bother using any plugins. This is just raw building within Illustrator with the pen tool. And we'll select, once again, I make a clone of that shape with the new shape, inset to create the shape I need. So we have everything needed to colorize it moving forward. Now, another aspect of shape building, these lines in the nose, those look great, but we don't want them to actually be strokes. I want that to have some volume. I want it to have some nice contour. So we're going to actually create this through the use of just a couple different ellipse shapes using the ellipse tool. And so that's how we do that. We just select those two shapes, once again, punch it out, and it gives us the final shape we want on the nose. Now, I can get away with copying, pasting, and playing with the scale on this to get the other ones I need. So this is shape building. This is what speeds up, just thinking through ways you can create the art with precision without having to recreate the wheel every time you need to do that. These, for lack of a better term, liver spots, just the spots on his nose. Once again, these are just using the elliptical shape to create those. Those are no-brainers. Doesn't get any easier than this to create your artwork. To create that. So that's how we do that. Other content such as the ear. Now I could use the elliptical tool here and just create a nice rounded ear, but there's times where you want to be precise like that, such as the eye. You know, I do want this eye to be as close to a perfect circle as possible. We're going to make it somewhat oblong, you know, to create the inner part of the eye. I'll clone this and then shrink it down to get the inside. So in this case, we do want the shapes to be a precise circle shape. Now I'm going to copy these and bring them over here just to build the rest of the eye later. But on the ear, yes, it could work as a perfect circle shape, but I want it to be more kind of organic. I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to be somewhat clunky and not so precision in terms of a geometric shape. So I'll go ahead and just build this out this way. So we're just building all of our content for this ear shape, just like that. Once again, we'll select the head shape, clone it, select the interior, punch it out, make another clone of the head, select this, punch it out. And that's how you can shape build, using other shapes to punch out and create the content needed. Now on this inner part of the ear, you know, I will use a circular shape to form this. I'll select this inner shape, once again clone it, select that, and punch it out to get all the parts of the ear I need. That's shape building. That's how shape building works. The more you can think like that, the easier and faster things will get. Now we're going to also reuse this shape, and we're going to make it a lot smaller and finer, and we're going to use this to create the hair popping off the side of his head. Like that. We'll rotate it, get some different angles going on. Like that. So from one little thing we created for the nose, we're now using it for something that's not in the nose at all. Select all those, fuse them together. Oop. Select the head, clone it, hair, punch, and that's that. So that's shape building in a nutshell right there. That's how you can use different shapes to create the in shape you need. It's better to think in shapes instead of thinking in terms of strokes. It's going to help you as you build. So think in shapes, don't think in strokes, and we'll continue on with this video lesson.